Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. If you found yourself here, there may be a message for your healing journey, soul's evolution, transformation, or simply information. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about personal experience with corrupt systems and past people in your life, especially if they were a narcissistic personality disorder, which is classified as a mental illness. But accordingly to the medical system, it's not really identified as that, right? Because they don't pay for it. Interesting, right? So, mental illness is such anybody suffering that I'm not saying anything bad about that. Hope you can find your healing and many blessings to you. There's a reason for everything. If you can heal from it, I honor the light in you. And those that are dabbling in the dark side while they have these issues and medicating and doing things with addictions, dark side, voodoo, hoodoo, witchcraft, creating havoc, wreaking havoc on all of us light workers. I know from personal experience that's happened to me, along with them putting spells and witchcraft and sacrificing so that they can make sure the justice system somehow is under their delusion too. So narcissistic puppeting and controlling others and manipulating the systems are corrupt in general. Not all are, but the county I lived in, Wright County, they actually have fall prey to this, and it's unjust. So I hold them all accountable for the unjust they've done to me and many, many others. I'm certain I'm not the only one. But since I'm the one that made a difference and the whole community wants to discuss me at large, medical communities, banks, retailers, we're talking a lot of different things, car dealers, corrupt sheriff departments, everybody, anybody and anybody who's corrupt and on the dark side and join forces with any of the past person I've been involved with. God sees all, and justice will be, prevailing. So the unjust that you've done to me is certainly unfathomable, is what I have to say. And the continued gang stalking, 24/7 harassment, 365. If you take an oath, you should honor it. I know people can fall prey to whatever it is in life, and money talks and bullshit walks. And as my dad would say, this is all fucking horseshit. He didn't use fuck, but you are classified as the ultimate pricks. So I'm here to say to you, do right. You have a chance to serve and be in service and do the right thing. Money is not everything, and material gain at the suffering of somebody else, such as myself and anybody else that's vulnerable and has been a victim, and proof is at hand, and you only disclose the truth to the enemies. I hold you all accountable. And I know who you all are, by the way, because you've been trying to unalive me. And so, for all of us here, I hope that and pray for your healing, because turning it over to God and whoever you believe in at the end of your life, you never know who might be holding your hand and say, I forgive you. If it's me, you've been blessed. And if it's somebody else, well, hopefully you can make amends to your family and friends before you cross over and go to wherever you're going. So making amends and doing what's right is important. Letting somebody know that you were wrong. Maybe you were under a spell. Maybe you were part of the secret society, coven, dark magic. And people recuse themselves on the bench because they're part of this program. They can't even look you in the eye and say, I'm sorry, because they don't want their name to be public. But you've publicized me, shamed me, and publicly mortified me. So, what I have to say to you all is namaste. That covers everything. And you're not forgiven for your sins. That's up to God. But I can forgive you if you are under a delusion, because dark magic, voodoo, hoodoo, witchcraft, and the energy of a master manipulator, such as a narcissistic who's got addictions, projects a good story. But if you really wanted to know somebody, all you had to do, and you know from following me around, I am who I am all day long. So those of us that are on the up and up, live in humble humility, and we take this bullshit seriously. And I hope you do too. The, the, the harm that you've caused me and my family's life, watching people suffer. And yes, things that I love, people, places, and things that I've had to leave or you've taken from me. I put you all in charge of this experience. because you've stolen my life. I don't care about the material shit. Yes, I had a lot of nice things, but on the other hand, if it was attached to anything related to you and your county, you're all at fault. So what I have to say to all you corrupt people is my dad and my ancestors and everybody else who's on the other side watching this bullshit will be the ones you'll see. You'll see their face when you try and cross over. Maybe God will hold you in purgatory or something worse. That's not on me. And I'm forgiving you all because I'm releasing that energy, but I don't forget what you've done. So I'm not the one that's going to put all of your names and faces and the court documents that you lied into on a billboard. If I would, then I would be in your same energy. But on the other hand, you have a chance to do right because you know better. You took an oath, and I don't care if you're corrupt or not, you still must have some identity of I did some shitty shit, right? We've all done things that we regret. There's probably a dozen things I can list off right now that I wish I could change in life, but you can't. But you can make things right. For all you corrupt people, judges, lawyers, attorneys, cops, PIs, and all your other bullshit, you flying monkeys, what I have to say to you is get your shit together and do right by people. Do right by people. Would you like the same thing done to you as you've done to others? I don't think so. And by the way, I wouldn't want to follow your ass any day under the sun. I don't think your lives are that exciting, and mine shouldn't be either. And if you want to know something, why don't you come to dinner or let's go to a coffee and we can talk about it. You'll find out who I really am without having to hide between all your secret little cars, your little devices, your recording devices. And by the way, if you've enjoyed me, well, you shouldn't have illegally. Shame on you. You can all go F yourself, right? Why don't you go home and love somebody, love yourself, and maybe love your wife or whoever you're screwing, right? Maybe that's the point. You're just not love in your life. You have void of love. Maybe that's the problem. Heal your childhood wounds, come to some terms with the shit you've done to people, and why don't you take it out on the person who hired you, or you slept with, or you did drugs with, or maybe the prostitutes that you slept with? Take that home and try and deal with it, right? Without medication. It actually is a wound that you can't cut out of your body. You can't medicate, right? Come back to heart center, deal with your life, deal with your childhood wounds, and grow up. Live with integrity, couth, respect, loyalty, faithful. Faithful to something. I don't care what it is, if it's a dog or if it's a human being. Be faithful to something, including yourself. Heal your childhood wounds and believe in something. Believe in purposeful forward movement, the ability to change the things you can, and the wisdom and the discernment to know the difference is imperative. This lifetime is not about who you can screw over, manipulate, or conjure up a bunch of bullshit or control because your life is out of control. It's not about who can buy you. Who's the highest bidder? I wouldn't buy you if you're not honest. Forget about it. Those of us that are calling you all out. I hold you all accountable for my suffering. You knew about it, you did nothing about it, and yet you're still doing it 24/7, 365. Stalking, harassing, manipulating, gang stalking, controlling every aspect of my life illegally. It is illegal. There's no merit for this bullshit, and I call you out on it. I know who you all are, and you will all be held in contempt, I hope, one day, whether it's spiritual law or anything else. We are sick and tired of the horse shit, and I know I am. Do not mess with me. Do not mess with my children or anything I love ever again. I hold my life in value and people I love in value. And if you actually come to the plate and ask for forgiveness, maybe I'll hold you in value too, because you did the right thing. So I hope this helps today. And I hope you all find your healing and stop the madness and chaos by a few people in your county that lied and manipulated to you. But if you like the game, go ahead and join the mafia or the cartel. They're always looking for dumbasses, right? Go ahead and join their forces if you haven't already. Maybe they're my friends now too, right? So I hope this helps today. Namaste.